Hi dear children, hope all are doing well. Before going to today's session, we shall just recall what we have studied yesterday. Yesterday we derived the integrated rate equation for a zero order as well as first order reaction. That is by integrating the differential rate equation, we arrived at an equation which is a direct relationship between the rate constant K and the experimentally determined values that are such as concentration at different times as well as the time. So for a zero order reaction, the rate constant K is equal to R0 minus R divided by T, where R0 is the initial concentration of the reactant and R is the concentration of the reactant at a time T. For a first order reaction, we got K is equal to 2.303 by T log R0 by R. These two equations are very important, studied by heart, because as far as numericals, definitely we need to apply this equation, so study it. Then next, we know that certain reactions are in gas phase because the reactants as well as the products occur at a gaseous form. So such sort of reactions, we can express the amount of reactant either in terms of concentration or in terms of partial pressure of the reactants. So if the data given is like partial pressure, we have to derive an integrated rate equation for that gaseous phase reaction. For that, consider a first order gas phase reaction. We can consider a general reaction A giving B plus C. Initially, at time T is equal to 0, that is at the start of the reaction, in the reaction medium, only reactants are present, only A molecules are present, there is no B and C. So the pressure exerted in that container or in that particular reaction medium is due to the A molecules, because A molecules, they are constantly moving and they are colliding with each other as well as with the walls of the container, so it exerts pressure. There is no B as well as C at time T is equal to 0. So the pressure is due to only the A molecules. So the partial pressure or the pressure exerted by A, let it be Pi. At time T is equal to 0, let Pi be the pressure. That is the pressure exerted by A molecules. Let it be Pi. At that time T is equal to 0. The pressure due to B is 0 as well as pressure due to C is also 0. Then after a time T, then reactants A molecules are getting converted into B and C. As time passes by or as time elapses, A will be getting converted into B and C. So the total pressure is due to A as well as B as well as C. So that is the sum of pressure due to A and B plus C. So let X be the decreasing pressure at a time T. Let X be the pressure due to A decreases because the A will be getting converted into B and C as time elapses. So let X be the decrease in pressure due to A molecules. Let X be the decrease, X atmosphere be the decrease in pressure due to A. So at that time the increase in pressure due to B, because as time elapses the B and C is getting formed. So the pressure due to B is X atmosphere and pressure due to C also is X atmosphere. Since from this equation we can see that as 1 mole of A is decomposed, at the same time 1 mole of B and 1 mole of C will be formed. So decrease in pressure due to A is X atmosphere. So the increase in pressure due to B also will be X and to C also will be X atmosphere. So the pressure due to A is initial pressure Pi minus decrease in pressure. That is, initial pressure was Pi. It is decreased by an amount of X atmosphere. Then at that time the pressure due to A is Pi. That is initial pressure minus decrease in pressure, that is X atmosphere. Then total pressure of that container in which this A, B, C are enclosed at time T is equal to, let it be Pt. Let Pt be the total pressure at time T. Then it will be the sum of pressure, partial pressure due to A plus partial pressure due to B plus partial pressure due to C. So at time T, what is the partial pressure due to A? That is Pi minus X, and partial pressure due to B is X and partial pressure due to C is also X. So this X will cancel out and this becomes Pi minus X. That is Pt is equal to Pi minus X, or we can say X is equal to Pt minus Pi. Then the integrated rate equation for this first order reaction, we know the integrated rate equation K is equal to 2.303 by T log R0. So instead of R0, we can write here we are expressing in terms of pressure, that is the answer is the initial concentration. So here the initial pressure, partial pressure exerted by the reactants is Pi divided by the pressure exerted after a time T by the reactant. Here the reactant is A. Let the pressure exerted by a reactant at a time T is equal to Pa. And here from this equation we can see that X is equal to Pt minus Pa, and we know Pa is equal to, that is pressure due to A is equal to Pi minus X, because X is the decrease in pressure and Pa is the initial pressure. So pressure due to A at a time T is equal to Pi minus X. Pressure due to A, the reactant molecules, at a time T is equal to initial pressure minus decrease in pressure, that is Pi minus X. Next step is we are substituting the value of X in this equation, that is for Pa is equal to Pi minus X. We can write it as Pi is equal to Pi minus X is equal to Pt minus Pi. X is equal to Pt minus Pi. So it will be Pi minus Pt plus Pi, which is equal to Pi and Pi, it is equal to 2 Pi minus Pt. X is equal to 2 Pi minus Pt. Sorry, not X is equal to, Pa is equal to 2 Pi minus Pt. Then we are substituting the value of Pa in this equation. The equation becomes K is equal to 2.303 by T log Pi, the initial pressure we can calculate, as well as the total pressure also we can find it out experimentally, that is divided by 2 Pi minus Pt. So this is the relation connecting rate constant and partial pressure for that particular equation, A giving B plus C. K is equal to 2.303 by T log Pi by 2 Pi minus Pt. According to the stoichiometric coefficient of the equation, this value of Pa changes. The value of Pa changes according to the stoichiometric coefficients. As the stoichiometric coefficient changes, this value of Pa also changes. Then we can do one numerical. Here we shall do a numerical based on this gas phase reaction in terms of partial pressure. For example, the data is given like this, that is decomposition of N2O5 equation is given to N2O4 plus O2 gas. And one more thing is given, at time T is equal to 0, the total pressure is given. Total pressure we can find out from the pressure of that container in which it is enclosed. It is found to be 0.5 atmosphere. And at time T is equal to 0, that is the initial pressure, that is the pressure due to N2O5. Then after a time T, that is 100 seconds, after a time T which is equal to 100 seconds, the pressure is found to be 0.512. The total pressure is found to be 0.512. So first of all, we have to derive an equation based on this partial pressures, that is the initial pressure, and Pa and Pt. We have to derive an expression, and after that we can substitute the value of Pa and Pt in that. So just look into this equation, that is 2N2O5 gives N2O4 plus O2 is the given equation. So from this equation we can see that when 2 moles disappears, 2 mole of N2O4 as well as 1 mole of O2 is formed. Let Pi be the initial pressure, that is Pi be the initial pressure at time T is equal to 0. Here it is 0 atmosphere, and this is also 0 atmosphere at time T is equal to 0. Then at time T, let X atmosphere be the decrease in pressure. The decrease in pressure be X atmosphere. Let the pressure decreases by not X. Here the stoichiometric coefficient is 2. So 2X be the decrease in pressure. Instead of X, here 2 molecules disappears. At the same time 2 molecule of N2O4 and 1 molecule of, or 1 mole of O2 is formed when 2 mole of N2O5 disappears. So 2X be the decrease in pressure. The number of particles goes on decreasing. When we consider the reactants, the number of particles goes on decreasing with the time, whereas the number of particles of products goes on increasing with time. So the pressure due to the product also increases. So let 2x, since the coefficient is 2, we can define that, let 2x be the decrease in pressure at a time t. That is, the pressure due to this N2O5 can be written as Pi, the initial pressure, minus decreasing pressure, that is 2x. 2x be the decrease in pressure. The pressure of N2O5 decreases by 2x, let it be like that. And here the number of particles as 2 disappears, here same. At the same time 2 moles of N2O4 appears. So if 2x is the decrease in pressure due to N2O5, then 2x will be the increase in pressure due to N2O4 as well as the pressure due to O2 will be not 2x, it is 2x. Since the coefficient is 1, it will be x. That is, as 2 disappears, here 2 will be formed and here 1 will be formed. So likewise, Pi minus 2x will be the pressure. Initially there was a pressure Pi due to N2O5. This pressure is decreased by 2x. Then Pi minus 2x is the pressure due to N2O5 and 2x is the pressure due to N2O4 and x is the pressure due to O2. Next we can write that is P total, PT, total pressure at time T is due to all this exerted by N2O5 plus pressure exerted by N2O4 plus pressure exerted by O2. PT is equal to Pi minus 2x, that is the pressure exerted by N2O5 at time T, plus pressure exerted by N2O4, that is 2x, plus pressure exerted by O2, that is x, because the container now contains N2O5 as well as the product N2O4 and O2 at a time T. The pressure, let it be Pi minus 2x due to N2O5, 2x due to N2O4 and x due to O2. So by simplifying this equation, minus 2x and plus 2x will cancel out, then the equation becomes Pi plus x. Pi minus 2x plus 2x plus x. This 2x and 2x will cancel out, then Pi plus x. Or we can see that x is equal to Pt minus Pi. Then we know Pa, that is pressure due to N2O5. N2O5 is equal to Pi minus 2x. We are substituting in this the value of x, that is Pi minus 2 into x is equal to Pt minus Pi, which is equal to Pi minus 2 Pt plus 2 Pi. Pi minus 2 Pt plus 2 Pi plus minus 2 into minus 1, that is plus 2 Pi. 2 Pi and 3 Pi we can add together and resulting, that is Pt is equal to 3 Pi minus 2 Pt. Substituting this value, sorry, Pt not Pt, Pn2O5. Pn2O5 is equal to Pi minus 2 Pt plus 2 Pi, which is equal to 3 Pi minus 2 Pt. Pn2O5 is equal to. So next substitute this value in the equation for a first order reaction. K is equal to 2.303 by T log Pi by Pn2O5. Pi is the initial pressure of initial pressure as well as N2O5 is the pressure due to reactant after a time T, that is equal to 3 Pi minus 2 Pt. K is equal to 2.303 by T log Pi divided by 3 Pi minus 2 Pt. So we know Pi is the initial pressure and Pt is the total pressure. Only we can experimentally find out only this Pi and Pt. Initial pressure can be find out as well as the pressure, total pressure after time T also we can find it out experimentally. And the data is given like a Pi is already given, the experimental values they are given for this particular reaction. Pi is equal to 0.5 and Pt is given 0.52. Pt is equal to 0.512 atmosphere. So you have to directly substitute this value. Time T is equal to 100 seconds. So you can substitute in this equation. K is equal to 2.303 by T, that is 100 into log Pi is equal to 0.5 divided by 3 into 0.5 minus 0.512. 3 into 0. Minus 0.152, which is equal to 0.476 atmospheres. And finally we will get 0.5 minus 0.3 into 0.5 is almost about 1.5 minus 0.5 minus 2 into 0.512, and after solving this we will get the final result as 4.98 into 10 to the power of minus 4. 4.98 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Since it's a first order reaction, unit is. Next is half-life of a reaction. Half-life, as the very name indicates, it is defined as the time in which the concentration of the reactant is reduced to half of its initial concentration. One half of its initial concentration. That time is known as half-life period. Normally, for the board exam, define half-life is a usual question. So, what is the definition of half-life? It is the time required time in which the concentration of the reactant, or time required to reduce the concentration of the reactant to one half of its initial amount. To reduce its concentration of the reactant to one half of its initial amount, and half-life of a reaction is denoted by T half, the time required to reduce the concentration of the reactant to one half of its initial amount. That time is known as half-life of a reaction, and it is T half. We have to derive equations connecting this T half as well as the concentration of the reactants for a zero order reaction. For a zero order reaction, we know K is equal to K is equal to R0 minus R divided by T, where R0 is the initial concentration of the reactant. So at time T is equal to T half, the concentration of the reactant R is the concentration at time T, will be reduced to one half of the initial amount. Will be reduced to half of the initial amount. Initial amount is R0 by 2. That is at time T is equal to T half, R is equal to R0 by 2. That is half of the initial amount. So substituting this, we can write K is equal to R0 minus, instead of R we can write now the concentration at time T is equal to T half. For the reactants is R0 by 2. That is R0 by 2 whole divided by T. Instead of T, the time is T half. So taking LCM and solving this thing, we get 2R0 minus R0, that is equal to R0 divided by 2 into T half, or we can write T half is equal to R0 divided by 2K. So if we know the initial concentration, we can find the half-life period using this rate constant as well as initial concentration R0. This is also a very important equation. Half-life period for a zero order reaction can be found out using this equation. T half is equal to R0, that is the initial concentration of the reactant, by 2 into rate constant K. Similarly, we can derive the half-life of a zero order reaction. First order reaction. For a first order reaction, we know the equation K is equal to 2.303 by T log initial concentration R0 by R, the concentration at the time T. We know that at T is equal to T half, R is equal to R0 by 2. R is equal to R0 by 2. So substituting these things, we can write as K is equal to 2.303 by T half log R0 divided by R0 by 2. So R0 and R0 will cancel and 2 goes upwards. So it will be 2.303 into log 2 divided by log 2. 2.303 into log 2 divided by T half. K is equal to 2. We know log 2 is equal to 0.3010. So multiplying 2.303 by 0.3010, log 2 is equal to 0.3010. So instead of log 2, we can substitute 0.3010 and multiply 0.3010 by 2.303, we will get a 0.693 by T half. K is equal to, this is the rate context, half-life period of a, or T half is equal to 0.693 by K. Half-life of a first order reaction can be determined by using this equation if we know the rate constant is equal to 0.693 by K. So we can see that for a first order reaction, that is T half is equal to R0 by 2K. T half is equal to R0 by 2K. These two equations are very important. This is for a zero order. So from this equation we can see that for a zero order reaction, this half-life period is directly proportional to the molar concentration of the initial molar concentration of the reactant. It's directly proportional to the initial molar concentration of the reactant, whereas for a first order reaction, the T half is independent of concentration. T half is independent. For a zero order reaction, T half is directly proportional to R0 because these two are constants, so it is directly proportional to R0, whereas for the first order reaction, T half is independent of, very important point, independent of initial molar concentration of the reactant R0. So study those things. These equations are very important. So next day we can do some numericals also based on this T half. So before winding up, we shall discuss what all things we have gone through today. First of all, we derived the rate equation for a gas phase reactant, which is follows first order kinetics, and applying this in equation we will get the equation as in terms of initial pressure Pi and total pressure Pt. And we have done numericals also based on that. After that, we have discussed what is meant by half-life period. It is very important. Half-life is the time required to reduce the initial molar concentration to half, just half, to reduce the initial concentration of the reactant to half its amount. The time required is called the half-life period. It is denoted by T half. And we have derived equations connecting this T half and rate constant for a zero order as well as first order from the integrated rate equation. That is, we got for a zero order reaction, it is found to be T half is equal to R0 by 2K, where R0 is the initial concentration, K is rate constant. And for a first order reaction, it is found to be T half is equal to 0.693 by K. That is, for a zero order reaction, the half-life is directly proportional to initial molar concentration of the reactant R0, whereas in the case of first order reaction, it is independent of the molar concentration of the reactants. So do these derivations by yourself. Do the homework given. Stay safe. Thank you.